Right now, reading this, you've blinked about 15 times, your ancestors blinked half as often, and they almost never did what you do every single day without thinking. Look someone in the eyes. Try it right now. Pick a photo, hold your gaze for 10 seconds. Somewhere around 3 seconds, something in you wants to look away. That's not shyness. That's not rudeness. That's 300,000 years of programming, still running. To understand it, we have to go back to before humans were humans, because in the animal kingdom, a direct stare is never neutral. A direct stare is a challenge. Among most primates, holding eye contact means exactly one thing. I am not backing down. Break the stare first, and you've just admitted defeat. Zookeepers and primatologists know this rule well. Stare too long at a gorilla through the glass, and it will read that as a threat, not curiosity, aggression. For almost every species with forward-facing eyes, sustained eye contact is a countdown to conflict. So here's the question that should bother you. If eye contact is a threat everywhere else in nature, why does it feel so warm between two humans in love? The answer took scientists decades to piece together. It starts with a mother and a newborn baby. Within minutes of birth, babies orient their eyes toward faces before anything else. Researchers studying infant bonding found that mutual gaze between mother and baby triggers a surge of oxytocin in both of them. The same hormone released during touch, during trust, during love. In other words, humans didn't remove the threat signal. We hijacked it. We took the oldest warning system in the animal kingdom and rewired it into a bonding tool. But the old wiring never actually left. It's still there, underneath the warmth, every single time you make eye contact. That's why sustained eye contact with a stranger doesn't feel neutral. Your body can't fully decide if it's bonding or bracing for a fight. This is where it gets measurable. In eye contact experiments, researchers track skin conductance, a direct measure of physiological arousal. When two strangers hold eye contact for more than a couple of seconds, their skin conductance spikes. Their heart rate increases, their pupils dilate. All the same signs your body shows in the presence of a threat or a potential mate. Your nervous system genuinely cannot tell the two apart. So it settles on a compromise. Hold the gaze just long enough to signal trust. Then break it before the old warning system takes over. Researchers studying conversational gaze have found the average comfortable stretch of unbroken eye contact lasts around 3 seconds, just long enough to say, I see you, and I'm not a threat, any longer, and the meaning starts to shift. Hold it for 10 seconds with a stranger, and most people will describe it as intense, aggressive, or unsettling. Hold it for 10 seconds with someone you love, and it can feel like the most intimate thing in the world. Same behavior, same 3 seconds, completely different meaning depending on the relationship. But this was only the surface. Because humans didn't just inherit this system, we built entire social hierarchies on top of it. Watch who looks away first in any conversation between a boss and an employee. It's almost never the boss. Researchers studying dominance behavior have long noted that higher status individuals tend to hold eye contact longer and break it less. Lower status individuals look away first more often without even realizing they're doing it. It's the same rule as the wolves, the same rule as the gorilla behind the glass. We just moved it into meeting rooms and dinner tables. And here's the part almost nobody notices about themselves. When you feel nervous during a conversation and you don't know why, check where your eyes are. Chances are they're avoiding contact entirely. Your body has already decided the conversation feels like a small, ongoing threat, long before your conscious mind agrees. But the worst part of this story isn't ancient, it's recent. In 2020, video calls became the primary way millions of people talk to each other. And a Stanford researcher noticed something strange happening to people after just a few hours of it. He called it Zoom fatigue and traced part of it directly back to eye contact. On a video call, every face on the screen appears to be staring directly at you, at close range, for the entire conversation. In a real room, no one holds a stare like that for an hour straight. In real life, eyes drift. They glance at hands, at the room, at the floor. On a screen, there's nowhere else to look, so the ancient threat signal just stays on. Your nervous system spends the whole meeting bracing without a single break. That's not a metaphor. It's measurable exhaustion from a signal your body has read as confrontation for millions of years. And there's a second layer to this, one that has nothing to do with other people at all. And there's a second layer to this, one that has nothing to do with other people at all. On most video calls, you can also see yourself. Humans essentially never did this before. Not for hours a day, every day. Constant self-viewing has been linked to heightened self-criticism and anxiety, especially in the same researchers' work on video call fatigue. You're not just maintaining unnatural eye contact with everyone else, you're locked in a permanent staring contest with yourself. And then there's the version of this that never turns off at all. Every photo you post is designed to be stared at. Every video is built around holding your gaze exactly as long as an algorithm can manage. Platforms track how long your eyes stay on a piece of content, and they use exactly the same 3-second window your ancestors used to decide friend or threat. Except now, on the other side of that gaze, there's no person at all. Just a system built to hold your stare a few seconds longer than it should. The same ancient trigger. A completely different reason for it firing. So the next time your eyes feel tired after a day of scrolling or a conversation drains you more than it should, understand what's actually happening underneath. You are not weak. You are not antisocial. You are running a threat detection system built for a world with wolves and gorillas, not glass screens and glowing feeds. And that system doesn't know the difference. Picture two humans 30,000 years ago meeting for the first time at the edge of a forest. Neither one holds the other's gaze for long. A few seconds of contact, a look away, a few seconds more. Slowly, carefully, they decide the other one isn't a threat. That careful rhythm is the exact same rhythm running in you right now, in every conversation you have. 3 seconds of contact. A glance away, 3 seconds more. It's not awkwardness, it's not a flaw in your personality. It's the oldest negotiation in the world, still playing out on your face. Every time you glance away mid-conversation, you're not failing at connection. You're completing a ritual older than language itself. And every time someone holds your gaze a little too long and your stomach tightens just slightly, that's not paranoia. That's a signal your body has trusted for 300,000 years. We didn't get rid of the wolf inside that stare. We just taught it to fall in love, negotiate a raise, and occasionally get exhausted by a grid of faces on a screen. Somewhere between the forest and the fluorescent-lit meeting room, the rules got more complicated, but the underlying signal never changed. Hold, release, hold again. Every single conversation you have today will run on a rhythm your ancestors used to survive. Not to impress each other, not to seem confident, just to answer one very old question over and over. Is this safe? So the next time you catch yourself looking away first, don't call it weakness. Call it the oldest, quietest conversation your body has ever known how to have. You didn't invent the awkwardness of eye contact. You inherited it whole from every ancestor who ever had to decide whether to trust a stranger by the fire. And every time you hold someone's gaze for exactly as long as it feels right, you're not being awkward. You're running the same ancient calculation that's kept humans safe and connected for 300,000 years. The wolves are gone, the gorillas are behind glass, far away. But the 3 seconds are still yours, running quietly every single time you look someone in the eyes. You were never bad at eye contact. You were just running the oldest, most careful negotiation a human being has ever learned to have. And most of us never even knew we were having it. 3 seconds. Every conversation, every single day. The oldest